Hello and good morning. Today I'll do a lesson on transits and slow moving planets. The slow moving planets are Jupiter, Saturn and Rahu and Ketu. Jupiter remains in one Rashi for 1 year or 12 months. Saturn remains in one Rashi for 2.5 years, while Rahu Ketu remains in one Rashi for 18 months or 1.5 years. The effects of the transits are always considered from the moon. The effects of the transits are always considered from the moon. The natal moon, not the transit moon, the natal moon. From my natal moon, what are the positions of these planets? Here I have used an example chart of a young lady and I am trying to read the transits. The transit effects are as per Phaladipika, but the bhava which is being affected is from the lagna. That means to say, in this chart, Jupiter is transiting the second house from the moon, and from the lagna he happens to be the third and the sixth lord. Therefore, the effects as given by Phaladipika will be influencing the third house of the self-effort of the native and the sixth house of Roga, Runa and Ripu, along with career, job or service. Now, Jupiter is considered favorable only in the 2nd, 5th, 7th, 9th and 11th houses or bhavas from Chandra. Therefore, in this example chart, Jupiter is posted on the natal moon. As per Phaladipika results, departure from native land, heavy expenditure, ill will towards others or with others. Now, in this chart, Libra Lagna, Jupiter is a lord of the 3rd and the 6th. Therefore, the self-effort of the native and the 6th house of Roga, Runa, Ripu will be affected by the Phaladipika results of departure from the native place, change of residence, change of country, change of place. Heavy expenditure, unwanted expenditure. Ill will towards others, being criticized or will be criticized. Expenditure may be, whenever we talk about expenditure, it is a loss to the native because it is an unwanted expenditure. So, since it is linking to Roga, Runa and Ripu, the native will have expenditure in the parameters of sickness, in the parameters of Roga, Runa, debts, and in the parameters of Ripu, fights or court cases. Actually, Ripu is loosely translated as courts. Therefore, the native will have problems in these 3 areas as far as the 6th house goes. As far as the 3rd house goes, due to her own mistakes. Another thought process is the quality of the planet. Jupiter, the most benefic, being on the Chandra, makes the native egoistic. This may also lead to unhappiness, misfortunes, expenditure, criticism towards others. Now, Ketu posted in the on the Chandra or in the 1st house. Ketu is only beneficial in 3, 6 and 11, Therefore, from the Chandra, it is not benefic. From the Lagna, it is benefic. Since Ketu does not have a bhava or does not represent any bhava, it can represent the placement where he is posted, which happens to be the third house from the Lagna. Now, Ketu on the moon, Paladipika says sickness and or death. Now, Ketu will bind the native's mind. Ketu will bind the native's mind. Therefore, the mind is stressed, depressed, or not functioning logically, could be the answer to Ketu being posted on the moon. Now, Saturn is posted in the second house from Chandra and is the fourth house from the Lagna. Saturn is the lord of the fourth house and the fifth house. Now, Phaladipika says loss of wealth and loss of children. Now, second house is considered to be the house of Kutumba. It is also considered to be the flow of wealth. Therefore, since it happens to be the fourth house from the Lagna, the nativity will have unhappiness and loss of wealth, because both the houses of Kutumba and the houses of unhappiness is associated with Saturn. Now, Saturn is already in a Sadesati for this native and is in the last phase of that cycle of 7.5 years. So, the native has 2.5 years more to suffer the negativities of the Saturn being posted in the fourth house and the second house from Chandra. Children are fifth house. Happiness is fourth house. Emotions are fourth house. Second house is Kutumba. Second house is flow of money. Therefore, the native will have losses in these parameters of life. The blessing in disguise is that Saturn is a Yoga Karaka for Libra Lagna. Therefore, the native may have a grace or may be blessed or may not enjoy that much of negativity depending upon the Dasha Bhuktis, of course. Now, Rahu is posted in the 9th house from Lagna and 7th house from Chandra. Again, it shows results of Rahu as per Phaladipika shows loss of wealth. Now, since Rahu also doesn't have a house of its own, it will give the results of the Bhava. The Bhava happens to be the 9th from Libra Lagna. Therefore, the native will have loss of Bhagya. The native may have losses in marriage. There may be bad health for the father. So, this is how we try and delineate the transit results. To a large extent, these results work very well. But having said that, the Dasha Bhuktis is the most important factor. If I am having a good Dasha and an average or a poor transit, the native will overcome the weak transit or the poor transit. If the Dasha is bad and the native has a super good transit, still the native will not get the benefit of the good transits, but to a large extent he will be supported by the good effects of the transit. In the second lesson of transits, let us look at a chart which has positive effects for the same placements of the transit planets, that is the slow moving planets. If you have liked my video, please do like, share and subscribe. Follow me at G3 Astro. Signing off, Gayatri. Bye bye. Have a pleasant day.